Now we're going to pitch up. And over the top we go. Out the back side. We're going to hang out here for just a second.
Okay.
And then we're going to roll out of it. That's a split S. And then we recover.
And a little bit of bump. So everybody, this time on the VFR Pilot, we'll get a long-awaited flight with Steve here in the Decathlon. First for me going up in any sort of aerobatic plane, and maybe if Steve's not trying to get me to toss my cookies the whole time, then we'll talk about general maintenance that owner-operators can do now that I'm one of those. Should be neat. We're going to taxi down, ready to take off, and go see what this Decathlon can do.
Yeah. Alright, now we'll line her up. Like so. Right there. Alright, ready to fly.
Ready to go.
And we're off. Pitch it for about 80 miles an hour.
So is this a lighter bird than my Cherokee?
Yes. I'm not sure what the gross weight is on it, but it's
yeah, if you're looking at the FBO,
might be about 1,300 pounds or so, 1,200.
They're about a big.
It feels like it's got more vibrations throughout the fuse.
You're welcome.
It's a dope fabric airplane, and
right ahead.
it's not sturdy aluminum, so it's got a little bit of shake to it.
Turning final, 3-4 Shelby.
Alright, 500 feet, pull the power back, 25 inches. And 2,500 RPMs.
So it's been a little while since I was in a high wing. I forget about the visibility.
Oh yeah.
When you're looking down.
And,
I like the low wing for cruising because we can see traffic better, but the high wing's great for just looking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can't beat it, man. I'm a high wing kind of guy unless I'm going somewhere.
Yeah. I was noticing, I haven't done any tailwheel training. What you were talking about with the pedals kind of dancing just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I was watching those vibrate just a little bit in the Cherokee. I mean, it's just so easy. You just hold a little steady right rudder and then you're off, but
yep.
Tailwheel, you got to kind of
you got to dance a little bit. Yeah, you want a better takeoff and a better landing is accomplished by just staying as far ahead of the airplane as you possibly can.
Yep.
And any type of little deviation you get can quickly get out of, it can come out of, it can get out of whack real quick if you don't stay on top of it. So the idea is just to keep it as perfectly straight down the runway as you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but as long as you kind of keep it straight and at least keep it pointed in the right direction. Right. A lot of people, a common mistake in tailwheel airplanes is if it starts to kind of waver a little bit or wander, they'll try too hard to get it back on center line before they actually stop the turn.
Yeah.
The key to keeping it straight is you stop the turn, like even if it's going off towards the side of the runway, you get it straight again, and then you start working it back. But typically in most tailwheel airplanes, I mean there are some exceptions, but most of them, by the time the tail's off the ground and you're going down the runway and it's already starting to get light,
yeah,
and, just fly it off. It's usually pretty much ready. And landing's the same way. I mean, you always look for and hope for that perfect, set down where you don't even have to touch the rudders, but it's always, something will happen. It'll hit just a slightly one wheel off or something, and you got to stay ahead of it to keep it tracking straight. All right, we'll take her on up about 4,000 feet, do a couple of clearing turns, make sure we're not sharing the airspace with anybody, and we'll play around for a little bit.
Roger that.
We're passing through 3 right now, so we're getting there.
I noticed you don't have a mirror.
No, don't need one. I don't want to see the guy behind me throwing up.
Well, it's all grins right now back here.
Oh yeah, we'll probably be fine. Like I said, I'll do a couple of rolls, a couple of loops. We'll just do some real basic stuff, and I'll let you get a feel for the G loadings that you can experience during certain maneuvers.
Congratulations.
Hey, it's just like a roller coaster without the rails, right?
Yeah, more fun, lasts longer, and more expensive.
Yeah, everything to do with aviation is more expensive.
Got that right, but it's worth it. See,
That's
I'm still working on my acro. My rolls aren't quite as pretty as some people. I've flown with Greg Kuntz, and that's when I realized that I'm really not that good at doing aileron rolls.
Yeah.
But I'm practicing. I'm working on it. All right, I did not see any traffic. Did you?
I did not.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to use that smoke out there on the horizon as my reference for the rolls. We'll line up on that. For a roll, when you go through 90 degrees or perpendicular to the horizon, it loses a lot of lift. So you got to counter that lift with some forward stick. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to actually try to 0G the airplane. Now this is the part where it's important that you're strapped in, because you'll start to float, and if I do it horribly wrong, then you'll actually come out of the seat a little bit, but I'm going to try and not do that.
Okay.
But you also need airspeed, so we're going to pitch down. We're going to pick it up to 140 miles an hour, then I'll pitch back up to about 20 degrees above the horizon. And then at 20 degrees, I'll zero out the airplane and we'll start our roll. So there's 140. Pick her on up. Over the top we go. And try to use some top elevator, rudder rather. It wasn't pretty, but it wasn't ugly. I've certainly done worse.
That was very cool.
So we'll pitch it back down, 140. We'll unwind it. We'll go the other way. There's 140. Up. Over we go. Use a little, crap. I butchered that one up. The idea. There, let me try something else here. There we are at 140. Usually got a little bit too much trim there too. Pick it up a little bit. Over we go.
So when you talk about keeping like a 1G load, that's to try and keep you in the seat?
Well, no, actually what that's for, the idea is to roll around yourself in 0G.
Yeah.
So what I'm supposed to be doing, pitch it up, and then you go 0, which right there, believe it or not, is 0 Gs.
Yeah.
Well, at least according to my G meter. So what I'm supposed to be doing is pitching up, unloading the airplane, and then rolling around it. Something like that. That's actually a little bit better. Alright, we'll get us some altitude back. So we have pulled a total of 3 Gs and 0. Alright, next we're going to do a loop, which this may or may not work just because I'm not perfectly lined up on that road. We'll kind of do the maneuver the same way. We're going to pitch down, get up to about 140 miles an hour, and then we're going to pull it back and just load up the airplane all the way, and then we look over, gauging it. Now coming over the top, there's my road. Out the bottom as it picks up speed. Oh, did you feel that bump?
Yeah, that was your prop
That was my wake turbulence, yeah. That was good.
Very, very neat, sir. Thank you.
Now what we'll do is we'll pitch over.
We need a camera on the wingtip.
Yeah, right. There's 140. Now we're going to pitch up. And over the top we go. Out the back side. We're going to hang out here for just a second.
Okay.
And then we're going to roll. Out of it. That's a split S. And then we recover.
And a little bit of bumping. It's a really nice and smooth day too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice up here right now. And just for grins, something I always like doing is a forward Humpty. We'll go up to 0 and then just unload the airplane. All the way down and back in the seat.
I don't know if I could do an interview like this. Oh, that would kept me in the seat the whole time. Of course, I'm sure my buttocks has a good grip on it by this point.
All right, I think I'm spent. We'll pull the power back to about 20 inches, 21 inches or so, 24. And we'll cruise for a little bit, head on back towards the airport.
Start full traffic, 44, November 10 to the northeast.
So we hit almost 1 negative G and 3 positive?
Yep.
Man, how did those spider jocks do that?
Oh man, I don't know. A lot of training and a lot of conditioning.
Well, that's better than any roller coaster I've ever been on in my entire life.
Yeah.
That is very, very neat.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, it really amazed me because I flew with Greg Kuntz recently when I got checked out in that Extreme or whatever. And when you fly with somebody that really knows what they're doing, all those maneuvers I just did, you'll feel the positive G stuff, but like when he would do an aileron roll, you would just kind of unload in the seat and you really wouldn't feel the airplane moving. You know, you'd just be kind of floating there.
Yeah.
And that's a really well executed aileron roll, and I haven't gotten that good yet.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, you're better than me. Guaranteed.
It's different. But, I mean, I think doing aerobatics makes you a good pilot, or makes you a better pilot. Because you get more comfortable in unusual attitudes. I mean, a lot of private pilots, you know, they doing something a little just different. For example, and we're high enough right now. You know, you get a private pilot into a condition like this, and just let go of the airplane. You know, they're going to freak out.
Oh yeah. Well, this plane just handles it really well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's built for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never enjoyed stalls going through training, and it was easier in the Cherokee because the Cessnas, you had to really work the rudder, but in the Cherokee, it's much easier to keep the ball centered on your stalls.
Yeah.
But man, you go do this a couple of times, like.
Oh yeah, man.
Stall
it changes everything for you.
We're going to do an inbound for 18, 44 November.
It changes everything for sure, man. It's like I said, it's a confidence builder. It's a stick and rudder builder because you really learn to fly the airplane well, you know.
Yeah.
Doing nice coordinated turns. Well, it's supposed to be coordinated anyway.
We'll be on the ground pretty quick.
How do you train to fly an airplane like this with the tandem seating? Is the new guy in the back for a while until he gets used to it, and then the new guy goes up front?
Believe it or not, with a little more time in the airplane, flying it from the back seat gets really easy. I've never flown this one from the back, but Chase has a couple of times. He's actually done full everything with Charles up front, but still he's flown it from the front or from the back seat, and it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the Cub's the same way. You fly the Cub from the back seat, but
the student?
No, the pilot.
Oh.
Pilot flies from the back.
Oh.
Okay, now we're lined up, which is key. And we just work on keeping her straight. Try to 3-point it, do a full stall landing here. She'll eventually quit flying. And when she does, should be touching down right there. And that's when the stick goes in the peener.
Very nose-up attitude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're sitting on all 3 wheels.
Yeah.
But even when you're slowing down, you want to make sure that you're watching that center line, and you're watching the end of the runway and just kind of keeping yourself centered up from that. You want to basically split the center line of the airplane with your eyeballs. Grab that right there. We'll get some air going. And anytime you got any kind of speed like this, you always taxi with the tail, with the elevator up.
So, we didn't talk about mechanical stuff because I was too busy having fun in the back seat. But we will definitely, we'll go up in the Cherokee, and I'm going to let Steve show me some neat stuff in the Cherokee that I don't know yet, because he knows a lot more about Cherokees and airplanes than I could ever know. But certainly thank you, sir, for taking me up on this amazing ride. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely, me too.
I imagine there's a little bit of a thrill from taking up a noob, rolling them the first time.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. I get just as much of a kick out of it as the people riding usually. I agree with that. I don't know, not my circus or my monkeys or any of that crap, whatever the saying is.
You have monkeys?
Yes.
At the circus?
Yep.
Yay.